right. Good work today. It's been a really good week so far for our guys out there on the field. All right, a lot to prepare for because you're playing a good team, but can go ahead and open it up.
Right here, Eric.
Just curious on what's impressed you most about Dante through 4 games?
Just poise. Like he has great poise, maturity. Like all those things are really showing up for him this year.
On the right, Zach.
This will be the first time that Dante sees an atmosphere like this and tries to operate an offense with over 100,000 fans. What makes him ready for this opportunity?
Yeah, all the work. He's put in a ton of work. He's been a part or seen environments like this before, not necessarily always on the field, but he's been in good environments. And then what you create in practice, right, creates that. We got a lot of chaos in practice this week to help us create that chaos for Saturday.
James on the left.
A lot goes into this one logistically, Dan. Just how did you or Neuer react when the hotel information got out there publicly on there? And those
I only worry about what we control.
Matt, here, third row. Chris, Matt.
How do you define pressure, or how do you talk about pressure at all for your team, for you personally going into games like this, and kind of the significance of what a win would mean?
Well, we said before, pressure is a privilege, right? And you come to Oregon to play in games like this, right? There's always pressure, right, for us every single time we step out there. But this is certainly a unique one. But that's what you're excited about.
Here on the right, Zach.
Justice has not played in a couple of weeks. He was on the injury report last week. What's his status going on this week?
Yeah, I think he's going to be available for this game. We'll see as we get closer to the week.
Front left, James.
a lot of made it is settings like this, Dan. You've had home games like this where obviously for the recruiting aspect of things, but even James Franklin was saying it's an opportunity for both teams in that way. A lot of their recruits that'll be visiting are guys you're recruiting as the visiting team. What does this kind of opportunity present from recruiting, even if they are the one hosting the recruit?
Yeah, just more than anything, this gives us an opportunity. We're always on a stage, but this is a stage that we get to, play to.
Back right, Aaron.
Obviously hear the crowd noise that you guys are using to prepare for this atmosphere, but you also said that you kind of took away that communication between the quarterbacks and the offense, just taking away that communication. How have you kind of seen the quarterbacks and the offense kind of react and prepare in preparation for something that could potentially happen on Saturday or be hard to communicate?
Yeah, I think they've handled it really well so far. Again, we've tried to make it really hard in practice. That's something that's hard to replicate. You're not going to be able to replicate exactly what it's going to be like on game day, but they've handled it well.
Here, all right. Jack.
Defensive line has done a really good job over the past 4 games of really holding up offensive linemen, not letting them get to the upper levels. How do you kind of prepare differently for a better offensive line and a different challenge for your defensive line?
Yeah, I mean, you spend the time watching the film, identify what's going to be different about this game, and focus on the fundamentals. The fundamentals don't change regardless of opponent, right? But how you execute those really matter.
Matt, on the left.
How has Jaden's just growth from year 1 to year 2, now year 2 to year 3, where he stepped into the starting role and really there hasn't been much drop off from a run perspective from you when he's getting the opportunities to play?
Yeah, so guy's just always prepared for his moment, and not really concerned about when it comes, but when you get your opportunity, do you take advantage of it? And I think he's done a great job of taking advantage of that. He's changed his body since he's been here, super diligent in his preparation, right? And that really shows up on the field.
Back right, Aaron.
I had a chance to talk to the players during fall camp. I remember one thing that I think one of the offensive linemen mentioned, the biggest growth in the program is just how much the recovery standpoint, especially for the guys that are in the trenches, how much that has improved during your time here. Now that you're going and facing your farthest opponent of the season so far, what have you kind of learned just about the Big Ten travel, being your second year here, going on another long road trip? What have you kind of come to learn through that experience last year that you're bringing into this game that's going to help when you're traveling so far, especially with the big guys in the trenches?
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, you said it. We've done it, right? We've been through it. We have a really good routine. Some things are a little bit different each week, depending on where you're going and how you're traveling. But our guys handle that well. You can pitch changes to our guys, and they handle it well. They understand how important recovery is, what we do when we get to the hotel, what we do when before we leave here. Right? There's just a routine that's been developed for us that we can go execute.